Hi, this is Eric Daw from OmniFit, and I want to give you 4 of my favorite exercises if you have osteoporosis. So technically, you could get more than 4, but let's start with 4 for now. The reason we're going to start with these exercises is they can all be modified. So if you've looked at my most recent video about modifying exercises, all of these can be modified based on if you can go on or off the floor. The ones on the floor typically are harder, but they're both kind of the same exercises. They both kind of work the same areas. So let's get into it. Oh, one more thing before we get into it. You may be asking yourself, well, maybe I don't have osteoporosis, or maybe I haven't been tested to see if I have osteoporosis. Well, I'm going to give you a little secret. It doesn't matter, because these exercises are good regardless of what your condition is, because they're great for your posture anyway. So let's get into it for real this time. So the first exercise is a bird dog. Great exercise because it hits so many muscles and so many things at the same time. But as you notice right here, everything is in line. And even though I lift my arm and opposite leg, I'm able to keep my body in a straight line. What the bird dog works is the glute on the leg that you're lifting, the arm that you're lifting, and it's also a great core exercise. The key on this exercise to really do it well is you have to make sure that your knees are under your hips and your hands are right under your shoulders. So if I want to make this exercise easier, just bring out a chair, put the hands under the shoulders still, knees under the hips, but say I'm a little bit tight when I'm trying to bend over. Take something out, like a cushion like I just did, and set it up where my hands are still going to be under my shoulders, like right here, knees under hips, and my body's in a straight line. As soon as you're ready, feel free to extend opposite arm, opposite leg, and I'm still working the same muscles that I did when I was on the floor. That outer shoulder muscle, core, and glute of the leg that I'm just lifting. My next exercise is a prone cobra, where you're going to take your thumbs, turn them back as far as you can, squeezing the shoulder blades, making sure the chest is off the ground, your feet are off the ground, and this really works the rear shoulder muscles. So say you can't get on the ground or it's not comfortable. Same thing applies if you're standing. Thumbs, turn them and squeeze those shoulder blades as much as you can. If you notice, this looks very similar to when I was on my stomach. You're still getting a really good squeeze between those shoulder blades, just really working those outer shoulder muscles and right through your spinal column. So some of you may be asking, why am I having you do a glute bridge as an osteoporosis type exercise? Well, the main reason is that most of us already have weak glutes, and your glutes contribute to a lot when it comes to your posture. So I can either do a double leg bridge or a single leg like I'm doing right here. The key thing is really to drive and push right from your hips as you're going up and down in a nice measured pace. So I can also make this a little bit tougher. See, I can also lift my toe off the ground and still do it. You'll actually feel your glutes more when you have the toe pointed up. So if I want to make it easier, why don't I do it standing with my hands against the wall? The key on this one is to extend from your hip, bend the knee and push back. I can also do this same exercise with the leg straight if you want to. The other thing you got to really be careful is that you don't move any other parts of your body, because the problem sometimes for people is they move other parts of their body and it takes away from where they should be feeling it, which is your glutes. A cousin of the prone cobra is the palms up, reach forward. Palms up, reach forward. This is a really great exercise. Again, works the glutes, chest off the ground, and really works those rear shoulder muscles. And if you can keep this position at a measured pace, palms up, reach forward, you should really feel it. Really feel it in those postural muscles where we want to feel it and we want to strengthen. So before I even move a muscle, look at the position my body's in. It's actually a hip hinge. And if you've heard from me in the past, you know how important a hip hinge is. And the reason I want a hip hinge when I want to do this exercise is I get to use gravity to some degree to do it. If I was standing straight up, I wouldn't be able to get the same position to work those rear shoulder muscles. So that's why a hip hinge is so important, but still doing the same movements with my arms.